There's been some arguments in competitions about whether or not putting other ingredients into coffee is silly, and shouldn't we just be maybe just doing other brew methods and see how, can you make a plunger properly? But I was actually one of those people going, no, they're ridiculous. But the more I've done it, the more it makes me think about flavours that are actually inside the coffee. And again, I'm not trying to mask up any flavours in the coffee. I'm trying to sort of enhance the coffee. And one of the things we did was, when you're tasting coffees, it's a bit difficult sometimes to try and pick up the nuts or the molasses sweetness and so forth. So we set some coffees up, and we literally added a little bit more of these ingredients to amplify these flavours within the coffee to sort of help people who are tasting coffee for the first time to sort of pick up those flavours in amongst the others. So that's one of the reasons this sort of thing came up. I was really tempted to use this. I was naughty at the fair and I ate one. Don't tell Steve. And it was gorgeous. And I sort of like to try and make it with this, but I've never done it with that before. It'd be terrible to have to start again. So I was tempted, but I'm just gonna do it with sort of regular green and blacks, just dark chocolate. I put that in one pan and leave that, and then I put everything else in the other pan. What I should have done was, while we were doing the questions, I should have heated everything. So we'll see. Hopefully it'll melt down. So butter. Butter for me helps the texture, helps show off the texture of espresso. I really, really enjoy filter coffee and the different types of filter coffees. Love it. But one thing about espresso that I love is the thick, rich texture that coats your mouth, and you walk away and you're still sort of tasting it 15 minutes later. It's not just that little shot. So texture is important. And butter, lovely buttery texture. Chocolate, because I get lovely sort of rich chocolatey notes from the Profondo blend when I'm mixing it with milk. Lovely sort of dark thing. Also spice. I'm using cinnamon, but I sort of, with the Profondo, I'm getting a sort of a spice on the back end a little bit, and this is just to sort of show that off. Honey, for honey sweetness, just the sweetness that you can get from a well extracted espresso. And then orange zest. It always amazes me how little you need to put in for it to show. It's gorgeous. It smells absolutely gorgeous. I did learn from experience, though I should have known, when I'm taking zest, is not to go very deep. As soon as you hit the yellowy sort of orange, then it becomes a lot more bitter. But the zest just off the top is just gorgeous. Little stir. Yeah, we're going. Candles are very dangerous to use in competition. I'm blew out and you can see the judges, and everybody's looking that it's blown out, and everybody in the room knows apart from me. And so, yeah, interesting. Now, there is another one of these glasses around somewhere, but somebody nicked it. If you see a little sort of piccolo glass around, then we'll do that. Otherwise, I'll just make it into an espresso cup. It's fine. Years ago in competition, we used to do ridiculously flamboyant signature drinks, and we used to put flower petals on tablecloths and everything. And it's changed now. Just like I think so much has changed in the food industry. It's not so much about the fluff. It's more about the product. And the sort of like, the taste and the freshness of that product, rather than sort of some strange fluffy thing. It's a very simple drink. So one of the things I've done is done it into glass to sort of show off that the crema looks lovely, and it's a shame sort of not to sort of show it off rather than just put it into a cup. I get marked on it with the judges, so if I can let them see it. Right, and then I learnt to strain it. And then it was the most ridiculously simple coffee. The one I actually did for the Worlds was very different. We were thinking about doing it here, but we couldn't. It was too complicated. It involved 16 different ingredients, all the sort of reductions that we'd made to specific proportions. And I got the judges to actually choose the flavours that they enjoyed in espresso, and then I made them this sort of perfect espresso. So with all these flavours in that they enjoyed. But making up 16 ingredients at this time in the morning, because it all had to be done fresh, was too much. I add a little bit of milk to this as well, because the reason I like it. I like that little bit of sweetness that comes from milk. There we go. Very, very simple drink. Flavors that I enjoy from that coffee. Don't know if somebody wants to go. Otherwise, I'm very happy to have one. But whoever has a little go, give it a little stir first, just to mix everything up. If you're an espresso drinker as well, do that with your espresso. If you're not going to put sugar in it, give it a stir, because it tends to layer out. And with fresh coffee, it's nice to just break up that crema a little bit. Give it a little stir and then taste it. You'll find it sort of a bit nicer.